Welcome
Welcome to
to
Shade.
Shade and the City. I'm your girl Treese,
It's Nels.
and today we are here to do our recap of part two of the reunion of Love and Marriage DC season 3, and this is episode 13. I mean, they're doing better than Real Housewives Potomac, so but there is another part to the reunion. So as me and Nels were both saying, they probably could have cut it down to two, but I get it. You made us wait this long for a season, so might as well, let us have it as long as we can because we don't know if they're coming back. But yeah, anyway, if you haven't already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you've hit that like button.
And the subscribe button.
And y'all, let's jump right into it and let's get shady. All right. So we're picking up where we left off. As we know, Quick is storming off stage. Security is trying to separate him and Clifton. Quick is upset because he said he's seen Clifton 30 times since all of this has occurred, and
And he ain't
he ain't
say
had
nothing
nothing
to
to say.
security come around.
Right. And then, he wants to get on stage now at the reunion and puff his chest up. So then Jamie is talking about how ridiculous it is that Quick basically that he would threaten Clifton on national television. And I said, did you not threaten your son on national television? Or was that some different footage from a different show? Just a thought. I'm just asking. So anyway, then Joy's talking about how, Quick told her to Google him and he needs to
Oh,
go
his
spend
net
time.
worth.
Yeah, Google his net worth and he needs to go spend time with his family. And then I thought that was so crazy when we see the preview for the part 3. And I'm like, it's always the bitches living in the glass house that wanted those stones, ain't it?
I mean, maybe he's spending time. They just ain't getting along.
Well, then Ashley basically says she's regretful for pitching the Cliftons for the show. Arena and Jamie feel like Ashley and Quick backpedal when Jamie's drinking was addressed. And Arena says she has no desire to be friends with people who act like them, meaning the Silvas. However, my notes say, okay, Ray Ray.
So then the cast comes back out on stage, okay? And Carlos asks Joy, girl, what made you attend the Christmas Eve party if you said you wasn't coming?
Right.
Arena made her do it, okay? But she said she came through genuine. Now, Ashley said Joy has been in her house plenty of times, okay? What you're not about to do is play in my face and act like you ain't seen me with all the cameras and everything and just walk through my house like we didn't just beef and don't say nothing to me. Okay. Basically, she said it was BS. Okay. Then he asked her if the comment about her, you know, putting her on the show is what set her off. And she said, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Ashley said, Joy, you was the one all up in my face clapping and doing all of this with the hand movements.
When I said, oh, Ashley got points. Ashley got points.
So then Carlos touched on how Ashley apologized multiple times. And we all know, we don't even know Ashley like that, but we all know, all of us know that's
She
not
don't give
something
out too
she
many
do.
apologies.
So Joy said,
I do believe she gives out a lot of I said what I said.
She does. She gives. I'm standing on business.
Look, I'm standing 10 toes down on what I said.
Joy said at that time she was already pissed, so she was not willing to receive it. Okay. Ashley said that Joy, made this narrative that basically after she said that and she wasn't ready to receive it, that she was pushing her. She said, no, girl, that's not what happened. She said, okay, well, hit me up when you're ready. I left it at that. I did not hit you up after that. I was not begging nothing. I wasn't pushing nothing. So you and this fake narrative can, go somewhere. And then Joy said, oh, like the sweet. Ashley said your husband has shown to be antagonistic, okay? And even the women from Ready to Love has said this. Winter even jumps in and says, yeah, she was there for the conversation. They both heard it from some, I guess, some of the cast members. And Ashley said that basically she believed it because she was front row and center. So you're damn right, I believe it. Now,
Mm.
Carlos wanted to get back to the Christmas party and he asked Arena who she felt was in the wrong. She said that she felt like, Ashley should have never shared any personal information about Joy, and then got into, how it was her high school that Ashley felt like, she was picking sides. She was like, oh, I'm 50. Okay. She was like, I brought Joy there. So of course I'm gonna go check up on her. Okay. Ashley said that she don't even
I
really know
just felt like Arena had a lot of unreason. I don't know. I don't know what the smoke was. I don't know what the smoke.
that's where Ashley's coming from. She's like, girl, what is the problem? What is the issue? Why are you still so
Yeah.
mad? So Ashley said she don't even know why she's still mad. Okay. Because basically after all that went down, y'all still hung out at my house for 3 hours afterwards. We made up. We was good. So where's all this coming from? Arena said basically she was sick of this. Okay, she told Ashley she can have her D back. She done handed it off. I'm sorry, this toxic D. She handed it off to Winter. What?
I feel like I need to change the background because I feel like Clifton is being very antagonistic behind you right now. He's like really antagonizing me behind the photo.
He ain't bucking at me, so it's okay. He ain't.
He ain't in my face, so
You know
okay.
what I mean? So we good. Um, Winter
And
said,
you know what's so funny?
what?
Even if it was antagonistic,
We
but
did.
it's petty
We
as
said it was.
hell for a man to
We
do.
did say it was antagonistic.
I could never see, you know what I mean? My dude doing that to you, like, yeah, Chanel. I could never see him do that. Was some petty thing to do.
Petty. That's Mr. Petty. He lived up to his name. So Winter
Right.
said, now basically we got clarity in the group, and basically she feels like Ashley has been consistent with who Ashley is. This is how she's been acting this whole entire time. And Joy said, yeah, well, hello, it's fucked up. Like,
Mm. Ashley says that her and Arena apparently hugged it out at the Christmas party and they were fine. Quick actually co-signs this, even though I feel like Quick was falling asleep. So Carlos wants to know, so how did things really go left? Arena said they were at a friend's pool party and that Ashley told someone she doesn't mess with Jamie. And then this goes, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I tried to take the best notes possible, but this got confusing. So Ashley explains that there was an issue behind the scenes with Angela, which I guess was
her,
her niece or
I guess I just know
goddaughter. I don't
I know
know.
her job is the assistant, but I guess yeah, she's in the family somehow.
But she lives in the house rent free, right?
Hmm.
So apparently he told Angela he'd have her homeless, and they do show proof of that. And I feel like I was on Twitter that day. If basically she kept talking junk, I don't know what the junk was. Ashley thinks that that was low. So she responded, and it turned into some mess. Is what I got from it. And again, I think I remember that day. Um, then Arena brings up Angela talking about them like dogs and saying she works but doesn't get paid for it. As I said, she lives there rent free. And then Arena says that Angela told Brittany, which is, obviously Arena's daughter, Arena and Jamie's daughter, that she has to care for the kids because Ashley is too inebriated to do so. And when she said that, so Ashley starts to go off about
Yeah,
how
she told me some type of way. She's like, I would have never repeated that. That's not even true. So you
right.
repeated that for what?
Right. So then she's like, little Jamie has told me things, but she chooses not to disclose them. And Arena says that it was brought up because they were talking about the tweet. I personally thought for Arena to be back to her point of you being 50 years old, it was very petty. It was in poor taste. Um, just like you, when I understand maybe Angela is not what's the little boy, Antonio or Ashton, but at the end of the day, if that's a
She said
younger family
she said
member.
that he's LJ's age.
Right. So I just feel like that was important. And not even that, just to put it out there and on the reunion stage and make it like stay, you know what I mean? And I feel like, I'm sorry, I felt like she knew what she was doing. It didn't have nothing to do with the tweet. I don't think anybody said anything about Ashley drinking in the tweet. Not Angela, not Jamie, nor so I don't know where what Arena's saying or where she's coming from, and I do think this was in poor taste for her being 50.
So Carlos asked Ashley and Arena where they went wrong. Ashley said Arena feels like, she got something to prove, like she big and bad. And really, she just can't even do this fake mess no more. Arena feels like Ashley is jealous of her and Joy's relationship. And Carlos tried to ask if there was any way for them to get back, try to find their way back. And listen, he couldn't even get it all out. Ashley said, no, we can move on. I said,
She
what?
said it's like Jaheim's hairline. It's never coming back.
Never coming back. Then Carlos gets into the sweet incident. Ashley said, really, it's all because of production. Okay. They didn't respect her wishes. Um, she said she let it be known that she preferred to have a conversation before any of that went down. And that's not what production wanted. So production did what they wanted to do. I just love that she called production out for that.
Oh, I love it. I
I love
absolutely love it. And you know what? I like how Clifton and Joy sat up there and agreed with her and was like, "Yep, that's what happened.
Yeah.
What happened."
And she said I was not in the space to see them. She wanted to have a conversation before any of that happened. And she said, honestly, we probably would have still been cool right now had that not gone down. And they actually agreed with
Yeah,
that.
they all agreed.
And then she felt like basically Clifton was antagonizing her. Joy said that, they had already had their conversation. They already decided they don't need to speak to each other. But then when Ashley got back inside the suite, she beelined it over to Clifton. And really, she was the antagonist in that moment. And I think Ashley agreed. She was like, you know what? Yeah.
Ashley did agree. She took accountability. She said, "I would." I mean, she was a butthole about it, but she admitted that, yeah, I antagonized him. But it was one of those, well, if you feel that way type of. So it's not really taking accountability. It was one of those, I'm sorry if you felt that way,
Mm-hmm.
versus
So
because she was like,
Carlos.
if you say so, Joy.
Mm-hmm. So Carlos asked Ashley, what I'm sorry, Carlos asked Clifton what made him gesture in Ashley's direction. He was like, what else can I do? Like, what else? I mean, if I move this way, is it gonna make her upset? If I move this way, is it gonna make her upset? What else can I
It's
do?
giving remember the time
Right? What else can I do?
when we fell in love.
Right?
Okay.
Now he did admit that he was trying to get a rise out of her because he was like, after she put her hands all up in my face, yeah, I'm trying to get my get back. Okay. Quick agrees that him leaning over at Ashley, um, getting in Ashley's face was like
Because Quick says he never leans over, he leans back. He watches out for the punches. He's lean back.
Ashley said that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some accountability. She said that she wished she hadn't said anything to him and that they would have just left. And really, I just felt like that's all I have after the conversation.
I mean, I think we've all said that this whole season. Me, you, really
Back
be.
inside, there was. I mean, look, Clifton, let's go. Come on.
Let's go. We ain't gotta go home, but we got to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, because it. I feel like that's you know it was already a heated argument. So
Right. All right, y'all. So they bring out Yusha and the dump. But speaking of, and I understand that it wasn't that bad, but when we talk about loyalty and being friends and how could Joy possibly try to have a friendship with Ashley if she didn't mess with Clifton? I don't know why, but I just thought about it. But Quick actually started that because remember, Ashley had been said, I don't really see it for Clifton. And he invited Clifton to the suite and she was like, well, if you want to, but she was never cool with it.
actually, on the stage, Quick said that he did not invite them. You don't
Oh,
remember? He said I didn't invite them.
oh, okay. Okay. I didn't catch that because I was
Yeah,
like, hold on.
but that's what made Ashley say it was production, because Quick said
Okay.
he didn't invite them.
Got it. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna try to keep this short, sweet, because we all know that, it is what it is, right? But they
They've
bring
moved
out
on
Yusha
from
and
this.
we've moved on from this, and I'm so happy for her. Shout out to Winter. They bring out Yusha and the Duncans. Winter was sitting next to Yusha, but then she asked to, switch things up,
He said, let's
flip it and
shuffle
reverse
things.
it. And she moves to sit in between Quick and Ashley. That wasn't awkward at all.
Can I say
They get into
I
Winter.
don't know. I don't know if you noticed this whole what part one and part two. They're the only ones with space in between them. That's how she was able to just move in between. It's not like she had to ask them to move apart. But no, I did notice they were the. I completely forgot. But they this whole time they're the only ones that have space in between them. He's sitting on one side of the couch. She's sitting on the other side of the couch. Even with Clifton and
Whoa.
Joy being, not in a great space, they're still
Still
close to
together.
each
You're
other. Yeah.
right. I didn't even think about that until you said it, but talk about observation. Shout out
Mhm.
Nels.
Yeah.
Okay, body language. Go ahead, girl. You missed your calling.
You so
Uh,
silly.
so anyway, so then they get into Winter and Yusha's package. Carlos wants to get into what happened with the couple. They saw things in each other at first, and it made him think that it could work. However, Winter says she told him that she loved him, and he told her to stand on that. And she felt something wasn't right about that,
So
especially
when she asked, when she said, like when I was hoping that he would answer when Carlos asked, "What does that mean?
right.
What does that mean?"
Stand on that
If
now.
I'm telling you that I love you, that's exactly what I'm standing on it right now. What else you want me to do? What
He said, "Don't speak about it, be about it."
That's literally currently what I'm doing. Like what? I was hoping he would have gave an answer. Look, you know what? You know what? I'm gonna say what Winter said. I guess that's him being fake deep.
Fake deep, right? So yes, Winter accuses him of being fake deep, and Quick finally gets up and moves next to Yusha, because as Nels pointed out, it wasn't like he was sitting on top of Ashley, no way, but he still needed some space. So Carlos wants to know
Ashley
why
said it's a
Winter
little
can't
tight.
even.
That's a little tight.
Right. Carlos wants to know why Winter can't even sit next to Yusha. She pulls out her time clock and says she's
Her
only going to get
hourglass, girl.
her hourglass. I'm sorry, hourglass. I was like sand clock. So I'm over here really sure. I'm like, I
It
know
could have
what
been.
the
It's probably because Carlos called it a timer. It like messed your head up.
right. But anyway, so yeah, she pulls out her little
10-minute hourglass.
hourglass. Yeah, 10-minute hourglass. And then she's like, oh, she's moved on, but she's gonna give them, explanation in
Let's
10
talk
minutes.
about
And-
this.
right. And she explains that within the 90 days of them being exclusive, she realized that it wasn't going to work. They had several communication issues.
So initially she said 90 days. So is she saying in the 90 days she realized it wasn't going to work, but then she still stayed till 120 days?
Gives me the vibe that they were, dating each other, seeing each other, or talking to each other, but they weren't exclusive. I think that's why she made it clear the 90 days that we were exclusive.
Oh, not okay. She's not saying from the beginning to the
Right,
90 days, just out of the time we were together, the 90 days that we were exclusive. Okay,
right.
that makes sense.
So, anyway, so look, and she probably so sarcastic. She was like, I don't want to bring that shit up. Anyway, so she said that, she feels like the nail in the coffin for her was when they went on the trip, and he didn't defend Black, and they've been friends for 10 years. And so she felt like, well, if you do that to your homeboy of 10 years, what would you do to me? And then she said, and this infatuation with Joy was really getting on her nerves, and she couldn't understand where it was coming from, real talk. And so then basically we find out, am I jumping ahead? I might be jumping ahead. But then she reveals that you should, try it out for Ready to Love, which I think I've already shared with y'all because she shared it in a live. And
And they said
yeah,
apparently he would have been a great contestant, but the only person they would have been able to match him up with was Joy.
I love when he's like, well, Carlos, when Carlos tries to question him, and he's like, we're gonna be respectful towards each other. And she's like, what you're not gonna do is tell me what I'm gonna do.
So what? Okay, so what? So you see how Clifton said that he didn't know anything about the situation with Yusha.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it's possible Joy didn't know either then, because all he did was audition, right?
Right.
He wasn't around the cast.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Because I think if he would have made it to a mixer or been voted off, we would have seen it. In some, even if it was like that one person you saw one time in that one scene, I think we would have seen him if he would have actually made casting.
Hmm.
And you know what? It's not like you know what I'm gonna do, right? It's not
And
like we don't.
what did they mean,
I was gonna
Matt?
say it's not like we don't know people from that season. I will slide into the DMs of somebody and ask a question.
But then that just made it sound super duper fake, because why are they trying to match you up with somebody? Why is Ready to Love trying to match you up with some? You're in a room full of with a room full of other women. Why do they have to match you up with somebody? Aren't you supposed to
No,
try
they
to match
said
yourself?
they said he was a great fit, but the only person they could see him fitting with was Joy.
But why is that up to them? Is my
Again, it's giving fraudulent,
it is giving
fraudulent.
it is giving game show.
Right. So then basically they talk about Yusha being opportunistic. Winter talks about how he flipped out, how he went to production behind her back trying to pitch his brand, and then how he flipped out when he couldn't put his socks, apparently maybe it's a clothing line or something, but I know he has socks. He couldn't put his socks in the gift bags for the cast, and so he felt away. And she said he had to namaste and all this other stuff, and Wusai, Enyo, Rengekyo, all that other stuff to get himself together. Um, so then they as Winter, as we're getting back to Yusha, I'm sorry. So then as he's trying to get into Yusha, Winter pulls out her nail file. I said, y'all have been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville too long. Okay.
Carlos,
Um and,
look, and then look, but she was dead serious. She said, "Carlos, I am hushing. Get back to it." She's like,
and so when they ask him about the whole comment about her, he mentioned that Winter mentions that he said she her overheard, he told production that she was a great
great
opportunity.
opportunity. Hmm.
And he says he meant as a wife.
And he said that. Winter said, "No, boo, I heard it. That ain't what he said."
Yeah, no. And so then Carlos asked the Duncans their opinion, and Sherelle said Yusha has always been a hustler as long as she's known him. And Carlos asked if she thinks Yusha use Winter. And Sherelle is basically silent, and so he's like, "You ain't even gotta say nothing because that says it all, sweetheart." So then I think she tries to clean it up, and she says that she thought that he did like Winter, but her being on TV also didn't hurt. So then Carlos,
But also says that he is opportunistic.
yes, her and both Black did say he's opportunistic, and they've always Black is like ever since I know him, he's pushing something, he's doing something. It's
He
like it's
gonna
never,
say he gonna say, "I can't turn the hustle off."
yeah. But yeah, no, and yeah, no, I think that was
He called
pretty.
his ass a fraud and said he's opportunistic. He said, "Who did I fraud?" The look, you can't even see her whole face. You just see the side of her. She's like, "Me, me," the front, like for real.
Well, I think really what it was too, and I think I've shared it with y'all. I think it was the muslin that really did it for her.
The what?
The muslin.
You saying Muslim?
No, Muslim, because he was a Christian and a Muslim, and he.
Oh my
I think that was it for her.
God, you got something to throw your ass. I ain't.
She's look. I'm just saying he's the one that did it.
I was like, "Am I tripping? Am I hearing her wrong?" The Muslim.
But yeah, y'all. So thank y'all so much for tuning in to this quick recap of part
Yeah,
two
thank you.
of
Maybe
I was getting
back to part
Jesus Christ. Look, you got me so mixed up. I was gonna say Ready to Love. Um, Love and Marriage DC. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button.
Make sure you comment
Make sure you subscribe.
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure you're following us on all the platforms. The Shade in the City. It's going across the bottom of the screen there. Yeah. all the platforms in the TikTok, the Twitter, the Facebook, and IG. Make sure you check out our link in the description box for our lovely merch that you guys can purchase and get your Shade in the City gear. And yeah, we will catch y'all for part 3 next week of the Love and Marriage in the DMV. Have a good night.
Good night.
Mm-hmm.